Hi.
You need an outtake special at the end.
Okay, let's do that. Hi everyone, and welcome back to channel IRS. So we continue our record 90 SP3, where I try to beat Fernando Alonso lap time at Daytona Oulton Park circuit with their go-karts D-Max Rotax 125. So today I'm visiting LetsRace company, and just next to me
Phil.
Yes, Phil. He said me his name 3 times, but I always forget it. Phil. So today we're gonna find out everything about these simulators. If you remember from my previous videos, I've been here 3 times. So Phil, first of all, tell me about LetsRace company in general.
So yeah, we have 10 LetsRace simulators here. They're a bit more unique compared to a normal simulator that you might have at home or other companies might have, because they are fully motioned. So when you brake, they're going to throw you forward, and when the back end spins out, it's going to move around the back. So you get a bit more feeling of the movement and stuff like that you will actually have on a track. So yeah, it's quite fun. We simulate different cars as well, so it can simulate like a British touring car, Ferrari GT3, the F1 cars, and other single seaters like the 3.5 as well. So yeah, if you're trying something like a track day at like Brands Hatch or Donington on like a British touring car, you can come here and practice before, just to get used to the track and stuff like that. Or if you want to try something where you might not get a chance to ever drive an F1 car, this is probably the closest that you're going to get to doing that. So yeah, they're really fun to come and practice, get a feel of what the real F1 drivers are doing, and it really makes you respect what they actually do as well. So yeah, it's good fun.
So you have 3 main categories: touring cars, Formula 1, and GT.
So we got
GT cars.
So yeah, there's we've got around 8 categories actually.
8 categories.
Yeah, we have different styles of F1. So you can have like the 1989 Formula 1 car if you want to try the old era. Got also the newer ones, so F1 2016, F1 2017. Then you've got like the levels below, so Formula 3, Formula 3.5, and then it goes more into the British touring car, Ferrari GT3, also Le Mans car as well we have on here. So yeah, loads of variety, loads of different things you can try out. So yeah, it's quite fun.
And what can you tell me about the circuits? I am especially interested in British circuits.
The British circuit. So yeah, it does vary as well. So we do like a British Touring Car Championship here. So we've got all the British Tour tracks. So you've got like the Silverstone short track, the national one, Rockingham, Donington obviously, Brands, and a load of others which are more the British ones, the British style ones that we use for the British touring car. So yeah, they're quite fun.
So let's say if I turn up here and I want to drive a Formula 1 car in Rockingham, so I can do that?
You can do that. So any car we simulate, they can be put on any track. So you can have like, you could even do like the Nürburgring, the really long track if you wanted to. You can do any F1 track that you want to do. And like I say, we've got all the British touring car tracks that they do throughout the season as well. So they're quite fun, and you can do any one you want. So yeah.
So you have all Formula 1 circuits?
All Formula 1 circuits, yeah. So we usually for like the weekends, whatever track that they're doing in real life, usually the customers will come in and try that track as well. So you've just had the Australian Grand Prix that's just gone past. That's what we was running the whole weekend, so people can compare themselves to what the F1 drivers are actually doing on the weekend as well. So next one coming up is going to be Bahrain, so that one should be quite fun as well. I quite like
and
the Bahrain
that weekend track. When the Bahrain Championship happening, you're going to run Bahrain?
Yeah, we're going to run that one as well. So
oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it should be quite fun.
So Phil, yeah?
Yep.
Phil, can you tell me, do you do only practice sessions, or you also run some kind of championships? Yeah,
there's a variety of different things you can do. Obviously, some people are coming to try their first time, and we have a lot of people who come down here a bit more experienced, who come weekly or monthly and stuff like that. So the first session, which will probably be the sort of beginner session, is the practice session, which is where you get 25 minutes out on the track, any track of your choice, any car of your choice, and you keep going around doing your flying laps, and you can see how much you progressed over time. We also have a leaderboard on the website, so you compare against other people and see how they're doing, and all your lap times will be on there as well. So that's the practice session. The race experience, where you get a 15-minute qualifying and a 15-minute race. Also in between, they look at telemetry from the qualifying session as well. So if you don't know what that is, it's basically the fastest lap that they've ever had on the track, compares it to your fastest lap from the qualifying, and it shows you different bits of data about your accelerator pressure, your brake pedal pressure, how you're going up and down the gears, if you're doing it too quickly, too slowly. And it compares it to the fastest lap, so a professional usually, like Fernando Alonso or someone like that, and you can see how you're doing compared to them. So that's quite fun there.
And it's very professional.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like on a real truck.
Yeah,
you
so
know?
it's literally just like what you're doing in real life, but in a simulator. So, like I say, you've got 10 Formula 1 simulators here, so all 10 people can see each other out on the track, all doing their qualifying sessions, and they can all see each other on the race. So it will show you how far you're in front and behind of everyone, comparing your laps to everyone. Everyone can see each other on the track, so yeah, it makes you feel like you're actually in a proper race, and you have to be quite careful of who's around you and your awareness as well, so it really does improve that sort of stuff as well.
And during the race, when you race with other drivers, if you touch them, all the feelings the same.
So yeah, exactly. So when you brake and crash into people, it is going to throw you forward the car, the fully motion and stuff like that. So you are going to feel it. And like I say, yeah, everyone's around you. You have to be quite aware. It really does help you with that sort of stuff and get you in the zone. So you've got the pedal adjusters first, so this will just move the pedals forwards and backwards just so people can get themselves as comfortable as possible. But yeah, as you can see, there's only 2 pedals here, okay? So there's no clutch, which is a bit different to the normal car that you might drive out on the roads. And it's also left foot for braking instead of your right foot, which makes it a bit more awkward as well. So out on the roads, you usually use your right foot to brake, but in these it's your left foot, so that does feel a bit awkward for the first couple of laps or so. Accelerator is the same though, just like a normal car, but obviously we're simulating like Formula 1 cars and stuff like that. So for example, most of the F1 cars does have around 900 horsepower in the engine, so if you try floor it on the accelerator, that 900 horsepower does spin you off in the lower gears like first and second, so you do have to be really careful with your accelerator. Yeah, if we come around this way, like I say, there's no clutch, so behind the steering wheel you've got 2 paddles. There's a paddle shift gear change here, okay? So the left hand, if you pull that towards you, the car is going to go down the gears, and if you pull the right paddle towards you, the car is going to go up the gears. So depending on what car you have as well, the car's gears will vary. So like a British touring car has 6 forward gears plus neutral and reverse, whereas our fastest car, which will be the F1, has around 8 forward gears plus neutral and reverse. So it'll vary on what car you get, but yeah, you've got the paddles there. We do have automatic as well, so if anyone was struggling with a manual transmission, you can change to the automatic as well, where the car will do all the gears for you. So yeah, paddle shift gear change. So yeah, there's a couple of buttons that you have on the steering wheel here as well. So you'll start in the pit lane for like a practice session or you're qualifying. So there is a speed limiter through the pit lanes as well, so you won't be able to exceed 50 miles an hour. So just to turn that limiter off, you press your red button here and your speed limiter goes off, and then you can go as fast as you want once you're out on the track. Okay, the other buttons, you've got data, and that will go for your tyre wear. So we simulate tyre wear and stuff like that, and real damage if you want it on as well. You can turn it on and off if anyone doesn't want to do that. And you can also compare like your fastest lap compared to the people who you're racing against, so you'll see where your position is in the qualifying, and that's going to determine where you're going to be starting in the race as well. So tyre wear, damage, and your lap times that comparing against the other races.
And tyre wear here is real as well?
Yeah, you've got the tyre wear. It's not like a full tyre wear though, it doesn't affect you as much as it would do in real life, but if anyone does come here and they do want the tyre wear on and stuff like that, you can change the difficulties and stuff like that to make it easier or harder for people. So yeah, that can be turned on and off. DRS, so you've got the drag reduction system for the F1 car and the single seaters like the Formula 3.5 and the Formula 3. So what that does is it opens up the rear wing down the straights and your car gets less downforce, and you get extra 10 miles an hour out of the car. So that's usually going to be used down the straights in the DRS activation zones, mostly on the F1 tracks as well, because they actually have the activation zones, whereas like Brands Hatch and Donington, they're not F1 tracks, so they don't have any DRS zones, so we don't usually have that for them tracks.
So if you press it on a track which is not Formula 1, nothing happens?
So no, nothing will happen, so don't worry about that.
Got it.
But yeah, like I say, in F1 in real life, you do have to be within 1 second of the person in front in the race, so it's just like an actual F1 race. You do have to be just behind someone to be activating the DRS zone in the activation zone. Okay. And then launch control, it's not on the F1 car, but on the lower cars like the British touring car and stuff like that, you do have the launch control button as well, which will be for a race start, just to get that extra kick forward and a bit of a better start compared to your other opponents.
Phil, what you can say about the G-force on these simulators? What kind of G-force you can feel here?
So there's not too much G-force on the simulators. It's more just the motion and the feel of what's going to happen if you do crash and brake, how hard you're braking and stuff like that. So it's not as much the G-force, it's just the feel of the back end and how an actual car will be moving in real life.
So can we say that the simulators is very good to learn the circuit?
So yeah, they're good for learning the circuits, getting a feel of what an actual car does if you've never been on a track before as well.
And I found your steering wheels are like a real car. The feeling on the steering wheel is like a real car.
So there's a force feedback setting on the car, which makes the feel of a steering wheel. So it depends on what car you have as well. So obviously in the F1, the feel in an F1 car is quite tough, whereas it's not going to be as tough in like a British touring car and lower cars like that. So yeah, there is like a force feedback motion sensor on the steering wheels to make it feel like you're driving in real life as well.
So every car is a different feeling as well.
Yeah.
Wow, you know, more you're telling me about this equipment, more interesting I find it, you know?
Yeah, it's very high tech. There's quite a lot of stuff going on underneath and behind the scenes in our far corner where we're controlling the cars as well. So yeah, it's good
Is
fun.
this equipment, it's only for, you can't get it to your home?
So no, not this specific one. This is all handmade by our company in the factory. So these are sort of one of a kind.
Can we recommend the simulators for the guys who want to learn the British circuit, for the guys who want to move from the go-karts into something more serious? Can the simulator be as the step between karts and the cars, or Formula 3 or something like this?
Yeah, so like I say, if you come down here, the motion and everything like that is what you're going to really get a feel of, and learning the tracks as well. The software that we use is R Factor 2, so you can get that at home as well. So if you wanted to download this or buy it, you can get this simulator as well. Just obviously not with all the motion and stuff like that. It'll be a bit different at home. But yeah, that's what software we're using to get all the tracks and cars on as well.
So this is a good step forward for the
Really good
racing drivers. Yeah. And one more thing. Go-karts. Why we don't have simulators go-karts?
I don't know why we don't have simulators go-karts, to be honest.
Seriously, I've been looking everywhere around UK, and maybe I wasn't looking properly, but have you heard anything about the go-kart?
I haven't heard any go-karting simulators. I know there's games that you can get on the PlayStation, like Gran Turismo.
Yeah.
That has all the go-karts on there. We used to have like smaller simulators where you have your seat and your pedals and your steering, but it's not motion. But that's the only thing I know about the go-karting simulators.
So here it is, guys. We found more information about LetsRace simulators, and as you can see, it's not the only place, but this is the best place to go and practice your racing skills. Unfortunately, at the moment, we don't have go-karts in UK, but this piece of equipment is really good one to practice your Formula 1 skills, British touring car skills, GT Ferrari skills, GT3 Ferrari. So, and all that you can experience it at LetsRace. Where you based? Tell me.
We're in Hawley by Gatwick.
Hawley Bath Road.
Yeah, Brighton Road.
Which road?
Hawley Brighton Road.
Hawley Brighton Road. If you're interested, come here and try it. It's definitely worth money which you're gonna pay. Thank you very much, Phil.
Cheers, buddy. Nice one.
Nice one, mate. Right. Alright guys, it's Saturday and we continue with our record 90 SP3, where I try to beat Fernando Alonso lap time, which is 45.5 seconds at Daytona Oulton Park circuit with their cars D-Max, and this is week number 8.
Back from the dead.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're all invited to go fucking mental on this motherfucking drop. The countdown has just begun. Are you ready? Let's go, 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 go.
Now we're back from the dead. We're back from the dead.
Hell yeah.
And today I'm visiting Oulton Park racing circuit, where taking a place one of the famous UK championships, Ginetta G40 Cup.
Right, Stephanie, if you'd like to go to the podium. So the first presentation is of the Chairman's Cup for the older driver, and that's been won by Grandad, Ron Lynn. We know you're a Grandad now because we're all here. Yes, well done, Ron. Congratulations. And Stephanie going to present him with something, are you? Yes. Well, a bottle and a trophy.
Same again, Ron.
Now in 3, 2, 1 order again. In third place, Jack Oliphant. In second place, Rob Keogh. What kept you, Rob? Anyway, he's here now. He's realising in a second. Not the fair view. He's talking to all his mates from Northern England. And the winner for the second time today, Tom Golding. Oh, Tom. A pretty convincing winner as well. So Tom now has to draw the base on which the grid is going to be reversed, whether it's the top 8, the top 9 or the top 10.
Alright, punch
Hang on,
in.
Stephanie.
Squeeze in if you can. That's it.
Are you ready?
We're back from the dead.
Hell yeah.
We're back from the dead. Back from the dead. Back from the dead.
Right, guys, so at the moment I am in a team in the team Assetto pavilion, and next to me Jim, he is running team Assetto, am I right?
Assetto Motorsport, yes.
Assetto Motorsport. Jim, can you tell me first of all a little bit about Ginetta? What is it about?
Ginetta is a British sports car manufacturer. They're in their 60th year of production, and they run various different championships for junior drivers all the way through to Le Mans this year.
And I can see that you have Ginetta G40, am I right?
That is correct, yep.
So can you tell me a little bit about Assetto? Do you run only Ginetta G40 or you do something else?
Okay, the G40 is the model of the car, and they have a number of derivatives of. So you have the G40, but you can have a Ginetta Junior, you can have a GRDC, which is a Ginetta Racing Drivers Club. You can have as we run a lot of, the G40, G40 Cup, and then you have a GT5, all different configurations, but they all essentially are the G40 base model car. So there's a good number of championships. The cars are very similar. Some have slicks, some have sequential gearbox, some have reduced horsepower. So they're all one-make championships, and they obviously all run within their own class.
What about the cars which you use, Ginetta G40? Are they all equal, all the teams, all the cars, are they equal, or you can play with some settings?
So we run the 3 cars that we've just raced today with the G40 Cup model. They're all identical in terms of horsepower, suspension, tyres, gearboxes, everything is identical. We can adjust spring ride height and tracking and tyre pressures. Other than that, they're all the same for everybody, which means the emphasis is really much on the driver to perform. As a team, we can fine-tune, and we feel we have a very good, consistent, easy to drive car, and it's proven today with all our drivers having some very good results, including Tom, that's won all 3 races.
Oh yeah, and I've seen Tom today won 3 races. I congratulate him, and I want to ask one more question. Ginetta's this is, as I understand, this is a very good next level after go-karts, or even after some lower level motorsport.
Yeah, well, Ginetta create these number of championships. The GRDC championship is designed purely for the driver who's never raced. So they'll take them and they'll run and look after them for 4 race weekends and bring them into motorsport. Then all they have to do is to change the dampers and the tyres, and then they move into the G40 Cup, which is what we run. So if someone wants to buy the GRDC car, it's a very small uplift after the first year of learning to race in the championship that we've got here today with 20 odd cars. So Ginetta will then do a good deal on cars, and they often will part exchange, so it makes it easier for the customer to go up through the grades as they progress with their experience and potentially budget. So that Ginetta are the one company in this country that have created some sort of stairway so the drivers can progress at a sensible budget.
So it's affordable to start for drivers, beginners.
Absolutely, motor racing isn't ever going to be cheap, but to the GRDC category, that Ginetta will look after everything for you, or you can run the car yourself. So they seem to have the organisers or the owners of the company have their races by nature themselves, so they know what the competitor is looking for. So they've tried to address that and give everybody what they're looking for, which is what it was born out in the fact that the grids are healthy.
And can I ask you a little bit about driving styles in Ginetta? I mean, let's say when someone coming experienced from the karting, as I understand, is going to be completely different driving.
Absolutely, with karting, I mean, I'm not a karter, so I can't speak with experience, but what we find with the cars is that there's a lot more body weight to transfer. So in many ways, they're very easy to drive compared to karting, because they're used to a very stiff, quick direction change, whereas with the car, they've got to get used to the weight transfer under braking and turn into a corner, and then obviously traction as well. So there's a whole new learning curve. But there's something they've got to do when they move up to high level racing. The same principles apply. So it's a good platform for them to learn their craft, at the same time learn the circuits at a much lower budget, and then as they progress they obviously go on to slicks, etc., and everything gets a little bit quicker.
So this is it. This is end of the Ginetta race number 1, 2 and 3 at Oulton Park circuit. Congratulations Tom Golding with his 3 wins today, with the 3 first place podiums today. Team Assetto Racing, Team Assetto Motorsport. If you're interested, I will leave you details in the description down below, so you can go on their website and check all information if you're interested in Ginetta G40. And this is it. This is end of week number 8. So as you can see, everyone packing up, everyone ready to go home. No, not everyone ready, but everyone packing up, and time for me to leave this circuit and start week number 7. See ya.